Day 6, 2:59 a.m. in the Big Brother UK All-Stars house. A lot of the house guests are still up from the night before, and if you saw last episode, you will know that Brian Dowling, Courtney Shane, and Tiffany New York Pollard are all nominated for eviction this Friday. A lot of the house guests are in the bathroom waiting on a toilet that is able for them to use, that isn't completely filthy or broken. But unfortunately for Cameron, his night is going completely horribly, as in the storage room, the washer and dryer have caught on fire and result catching him on fire. Thankfully, Makosi is the first one to run in and start to put him out, followed by Brian Dowling. And then Brian Bello soon joins in as well, while most of the other house guests end up running in there and just kind of staring. All of them seem to have calmed down and feel a lot better about the situation. However, the washer is still on fire. They're all just standing right by it as it keeps roasting. Any of them could potentially light on fire, so the risk is still in the air. Thankfully, however, New York and Cameron eventually pull out a fire extinguisher and put out that fire so nothing else or no one else can catch on fire. And I think with that, most of the house guests decide, you know what? Let's call it a night. So a lot of them have to use the bathroom. Cameron now has to take a shower and wash all that soot off. And a lot of the house guests now finally just start to prepare to go to bed and hopefully not start anything else on fire or risk their life in any other way. And again, no matter what the weather, a lot of the house guests keep continuing to grill outside. Emma has just made herself some fried chicken, I think, and is eating out there in the rain. Happy as can be, though, as almost all the other house guests settle into bed. At 4:35 a.m., the house guests that haven't already made their way there, like Emma and Brian Dowling, Davina, and Brian Bello in the bathroom, all of them are still kind of chatting and finally, eventually heading to bed. We saw that, of course, Cameron caught on fire, so he is now finally making his way into the shower to get all that soot off. But everyone else is now getting into bed, and Victor, he is finishing off his first night in the house. Also in the last episode, after everyone got nominated, we introduced the new house guest, Victor, from Big Brother 5 and Ultimate Big Brother. And he was immune from nominations and will be eligible for them next week.
Indaki!
I gotta say, most of the time the house guests seem to be on the same sort of sleeping schedule, but for some reason it has gone completely off. So it's actually pretty hard for me to get everyone in bed at once. We see as soon as almost all of the house guests are in bed, a few of the house guests like Pete, Nikki, Gemma Collins, and Makosi all have to get up to use the bathroom. So it's like even when everyone is tired, I can't necessarily get them all to stay in bed. At 11:53 a.m., Big Brother decides to go ahead and wake up all of the house guests for the remaining part of the day. So he goes out and turns on the lights, everyone wakes up, and soon either makes their way out into the kitchen or into the garden to grab some other leftover food or into the bathroom, whatever they have to do. So since everyone has been nominated and that is complete, we do have to go ahead and sort out our ministries. And by doing that, we are all going to compete in another task. So in the diary room, Big Brother has set up an easel for each house guest to paint a painting, and whoever painting is worth the most or is done the quickest will become our big boss for the week. And depending on how much money you raise will put you in which ministry is accordingly. Kind of like what we did last week with the falling asleep order. It's kind of the same thing, but with painting. So the first person to get called to the diary room is Brian Bello, and he's going to go in there and paint a large painting. And we're going to do this one by one for the remaining part of the day.
Uh-huh. Yibs.
Boy.
Ah. Grenade.
Meanwhile, outside, a lot of the house guests are enjoying a nice barbecue lunch prepared on the grill. The GC is cooking up some hot dogs on the grill while most of them try to enjoy somewhat of the sunshine that's outside. It is still drizzling, and it is going to be drizzling for the next few days. Very English weather. And of course, when Gemma finishes up making her hot dogs, she goes ahead, leaves them in the grass, and walks away. So hopefully someone eats these and they don't go to waste like most of the dishes everyone is obsessed with making. But it doesn't really matter if it does go dirty, as it is the Ministry of Plenty's turn to start cleaning starting tomorrow. I'm going to let them begin once all the other ministries are sorted out, but the nominees, again, those being Courtney Ag/Shane, Tiffany New York Pollard, and Brian Dowling, the three of them will become the Ministry of Plenty starting tomorrow, and will have to do all of the cleaning and everything, cooking for the rest of the house. Alright, it does seem as though Davina and Courtney Act are eating those hot dogs that Gemma prepared for, thankfully. And Victor seems to have nestled himself in a little group and has started communicating with everyone. He is very slow to get to know everyone so far. He's kind of keeping to himself, sort of like figuring out where he belongs, what sort of group he wants to be a part of. And I feel like it would be hard, joining 5 days late into a group of 19 other individuals. Like, that's a lot of people. So he is moving pretty slow, but this week he really is going to have to pick that up because his relationship just isn't going to be as high as any of the other people that are in the house because of that time he hasn't spent with them. It seems as though Charley and Craig are taking turns jumping into the pool and getting out of the pool and jumping into the pool and then getting right back out of the pool. Hopefully they don't exhaust themselves too much and be in the pool forever, like Aaron, R.I.P.
Leave. Tanif Bazoo, live up.
At 2:38 p.m., Brian Bello has finished up with his painting, and if we go ahead and look and see how much it is worth 105 simoleons. Since he is the only one that's gone so far, he is in the lead. So once he leaves, it seems as though a lot of people are slowly gathering in the kitchen, doing some cleaning and making some cocktails, most likely made by Cameron, as he seems to be the house bartender. And we're going to go ahead and call Isabelle into the diary room for her turn to go ahead and paint a large canvas and see how much it is worth in just a little bit.
Aha!
Now again, I'm pretty busy watching Victor to see who he communicates with, and he does seem to be bonding with Brian Bello, even if it's not for that long of a time. However, it seems as though Makosi and Nadia are deciding to sit down and have a little chat in the bedroom, while it looks as though Nikki and Courtney are just too busy walking around looking at the decorations, which there is a ton to look at in this house. And I feel like a lot of Sims, especially any ones that are somewhat artistic, they are constantly just staring at the decorations. It seems as though the conversation between Makosi and Nadia is going somewhat well, with Nadia being a little bit too inappropriate.
Isabelle. Floopy. Luigi. Slap.
Garza.
Eventually, Courtney Act and Gemma come on and join in on the conversation and start chatting it up. And maybe the four of them can form some strong bonds. Honestly, mostly everyone is kind of on the same level. And for the ones that they dislike or the ones that they nominate, it's small percentages that break it up. So I'm still waiting for big fights, big divisions to be made, as even, 5-6 days in, the happy front, the fake smiling, all of that is still playing on in the game. I mean, no one has really broken character or has gotten too comfortable just yet. Which is surprising by how much they love to relax and lounge around, especially in that pool. As slowly but surely, an afternoon pool party does start to begin, as most of the house guests relax on their back and look up as it has finally stopped raining for once today.
Lamarck, a meaty? A Pleva's apple. Arp.
Weezak Chima.
Book stamps on
Mizobu.
At 4:29 p.m., Isabelle has finished her large painting, and it is worth 92 simoleons. So she is in second place so far. It is not enough to beat Brian Bello. But we're going to go ahead and get Bear away from this little pool party and bring him into the diary room to start his large painting.
Zig and Bala.
As the pool party continues to grow outside, it seems as though little tiny conversations are being held inside the house. For example, we have this private conversation going on between Victor and Brian Dowling. We have the new guy talking to the guy that's on the block. They're also old school Big Brother players. I don't know. I think this would actually be a pretty interesting conversation to hear. Both of them are very genuine guys, so it would be interesting. I don't know. I like this little duo that could potentially be forming between the two of them. If it continues, obviously we'll be up to if you guys keep Brian Dowling in the house. Meanwhile, of course, the bathroom is still under massive repairs. We have one sink broken already that no one really seems to be fixing. They're too concerned in mopping it up. But thankfully, Brian Dowling is actually the one to go ahead and start fixing that sink. But I'm sure as soon as it's done being fixed, another sink will break, or a toilet will break, or a shower will, or something. By the end of this, all of them are going to leave full-on mechanics. While I creepily watch TV and the camera runs, you can see behind me that Bear has finished his painting, and it is a 96. So still not good enough to beat Brian Bello's score of 105. But I just love the idea of me just hiding behind the walls at all times, either vacuuming or drinking coffee, watching TV, Whatever. Bear instantly goes back to the pool party where he strips down naked and decides to skinny dip, causing a lot of people like New York, Brian, a few other people to kind of get out of the pool instantly and get away to react in another room. All of the people in the pool is causing a lot of glitches, so we see that Hellen is swimming in the pavement and a few other house guests eventually start doing the same.
Narpa. Bazoo whipped in a bait. Unga.
But we are going to go ahead and call Pete to the diary room so he can go ahead and paint his large painting.
Oh, Ishkawangi. Ooh, Rinka Drumba, Yakalo, Perugi. Banengrabe, Shapula Zamfespura. Limla Bura Murifon. Oberoi Sharpasa Tibu. Bura plus Quexel Rinshub Shishitaub.
Ugnate unga.
In the kitchen, it looks like Brian, Bello, and Cameron are having a nice little shirtless lunch, eating some vegetable dumplings, which seem to be perfectly cooked. I'm not too sure who made those. While in the garden, almost every single house guest is out there, either in the pool or in the surrounding area, all enjoying the rain, weirdly, and bouncing in and out of the pool. I am just praying we don't have another Aaron incident. I am terrified. But it looks as though Victor and Ryland are getting to know each other a little bit better as they sit down and continue on a conversation. The two of them seem to be bonding, and again, any sort of relationship with Victor I'm trying to hone in on today and see what kind of relationships he's going to be forming. We see Hellen and Emma getting to know each other by the side of the pool. And it seems as though Bear is still naked, however, is now become part of the ground. He is glitching all around. Ooh, that rhymed.
Campbell breathe? Huh? Oh, Panadayola. Rats in a sminchie. Barley.
At 9:05 p.m., Pete has finished his painting, and it is worth 107 simoleons, making him in the lead just barely above Brian Bello, but still in the lead and is so far in the running for Big Boss. We're going to go ahead and call Charley to the diary room, and she is going to start her painting now.
Huh. Aha!
Unfortunately for Bear, he's gone into the kitchen to get some food, but since he's still swimming in the ground, he is unable to pick up anything or join the conversation at the bar like he would like.
Purple. Turret Benar. Purple. Uh-huh. Hey.
At 11:27 p.m., Charley has finished up with her painting, and it is worth 102. So it's still pretty close, but not enough to beat out Pete. And thankfully for Bear, I go ahead and I fixed him up, so he is actually able to walk around and do what he wants from now on. And we're going to go ahead and call Gary into the diary room for his turn at painting. In the bathroom, some of the girls, like Davina and Gemma, shower off the chlorine from the pool and start getting ready slowly to, eat and wind down and get ready for bed. And while Courtney/Shane sits by himself in the kitchen, pretty much the whole house is still outside in the pool raging on. If they go throughout this night with no incidents, then I will, be able to see this in the future and not cringe in terror the whole entire time. I'm really hoping that Big Brother doesn't have to take away the pool after tonight, but so far, so good. Smiles still on everyone's faces, hearts still beating, lungs still breathing. So far, so good, but they have been partying all throughout the afternoon. So I'm sorry if this episode's been a bit boring. We see that Victor, who hasn't gotten in the pool once, I don't think, has gone ahead and gone to bed. Also, Brian Bello is in bed as well. I don't know how long these guys are going to be out in the pool for today. But yeah, with this task, it has been a bit slow, but after such a rocky start to the series, I was wanting to take it a bit slow. But tomorrow we do kick it up with the remaining part of the task and all of that stuff too, so make sure you stay tuned for that. In the early hours of day 7 at 1:44 a.m., Gary finishes up with his painting, and the total of his is 100. So still not enough to beat out Pete as Big Boss. And as he makes his way out of the diary room, most of the house guests have made their way out of the pool and are heading to bed. And as the majority of them are in bed already, we're going to go ahead and turn off the lights for them. In the kitchen, we have Cameron cleaning up and vacuuming, while Brian Bello fixes his second sink of the day. So both of them are being... Oh, I said Brian Bello. Oops. Brian Dowling is fixing his second sink of the day. And, he's doing a lot, even though he's up on the block. I think maybe he's trying to impress his fellow house guests. But what he really needs to be doing is impressing you guys. And is he? The nominations, again, are Courtney Act/Shane, Tiffany New York Pollard, and Brian Dowling. And who goes home on Friday is up to you guys. So keep on commenting down below. Each comment is worth a vote. So the more you want someone to stay, keep on commenting. Spam the comments down below. And each comment will count as a vote to save your house guest that you want to save. What am I even saying at this point? I gotta say, coming out with 5 episodes a week has been pretty challenging, but this season I'm just so looking forward to. I'm so excited to see our first eviction, and I love that Gemma is sleep swimming. What a talented creature Gemma is. So yeah, go ahead, comment down below who you want to save. Comment as many times as you want, on as many platforms as you want, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another installment of The Sims 4 Big Brother UK All-Stars. Bye.